Good morning or evening or afternoon or wherever I decide to actually edit and upload this. I just wanted to talk about something that has been kind of bothering me for a while now, and that's the term millennials. Usually I would post like some really long rant about it, but I know this is the digital era and no one really has attention span to read one giant paragraph with my really poor grammar. So I decided to kind of make a video about it. This is my first time doing this. It'll probably be seen by like 2 people, but whatever, 2 people will like it. All right. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into this. Cue the music. No, not in the budget. All right. Well, let's just do like a little cut thing that the YouTube people do.
I think I laughed too early.
Oh my God. Police, I mean. You happy?
Yeah.
This is the time. I got it. So a couple weeks ago, I was talking to one of my old friends from high school. Let's call him Alexander. So unlike me, Alex actually went to college right after high school and got his degree and started on a temp job at Bloomberg's. What was crazy was that he wasn't making some kind of absurd kind of money, or even as much as you would think a college graduate would normally have. But what's even crazier about this story is that he was taking a 2-hour trip one way each day, and that involved car travel and some train travel. But yeah, so I was 2 hours there and 2 hours back every single day. Now, as miserable as spending this much time on a New York subway sounds to me, Alex was fine. He wasn't necessarily happy with the job he had, but he got his degree. He wanted a good life and a good paying job, and he was willing to work for it and wait for it. So I present to you guys the American millennial. Constantly being criticized for being narcissistic and entitled, but in fact understanding the world in deeply different ways than any previous generation, and having to deal with problems that our economy, our country, and our world has never seen before. So first, I really want to address the word millennial. It actually wasn't a term given to themselves by themselves. It was actually created by two old white guys who were actually baby boomers, Neil Howe and William Strauss. And originally the term millennial was separate from all these negative connotations that they kind of have today. But once the term was actually coined, a lot of news sources and magazines used it to make generalizations of the most diverse American group of young Americans in American history. I feel as though maybe once upon a time, America was homogenous enough to kind of have these generational trends, but that time has surely passed. For example, according to the US Census, in 2015, 42% of millennials actually identified as non-white, which is about double the amount of baby boomers around the same age group. And 15% of millennials actually identify as first-generation immigrants. Now, as a father, I truly believe that previous generations worked really hard to make life better for us than it was for them. I really do believe that. Unfortunately, that's not always the case. For example, millennials earn less than their older peers before the recession. They have a 60% lower wage growth. And besides all this, millennials are actually the most educated group in American history. Millennials actually report that about 70% of them are already saving for retirement. So which generation's lazy again? Look, the fact of the matter is that young people today have a tremendous amount of pressure placed on them. They're told that they have to get a good job that not only pays well, but is also impactful and, influences the world and makes it a better place. And while they're at it, they might as well be in the perfect relationship and eat ethically and whatever else kind of things they say we should do. But what really blows my mind at the end of the day is just the fact that the biggest complaint that all previous generations have about millennials is that we have it way too easy, when it's becoming increasingly apparent that we don't.